Everyone in here, out there, let's do 30 minutes of abs and core work. Hey, I'm Preston. All you'll need is a mat and some water. We get right into a warm-up cat and cow, of course. So from all fours, exhale, push the mat away around the back. Shift your weight back to your heels for the cat. And then come back to all fours. Inhale. Exhale, drop the stomach, look up for the cow. We'll do one more of each. Exhale around the back. Inhale, drop the stomach. And we are getting right into our first exercise, a plank for 1 minute and 46 seconds. Let's go. Step your left foot back, right foot back. You are in that straight arm plank. You engage your abs, squeeze your butt, maybe your feet are together or hip distance apart, creating a straight line from your butt to your shoulders. You're looking down at the mat, maybe retract your shoulder blades slightly, keep your abs engaged. You could also lower down to a forearm plank. Every time we do this routine, we start with a plank, we end with a plank, and every time we do a plank, we add on 1 second. So we'll do this at the end for 1 minute and 47 seconds. I hope you're having a great day today. Any day you're working on your core muscles is a great day. Keep that going while I start up the Instagram Live. Boom. Minimize. Boom. Come on. All right, there we go. 30 more seconds on your plank. Try and squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis under, engage your abs, engage every muscle that you can think of. Keep breathing. 10 more seconds, and then we'll transition to a quick child's pose, and then move on to our first core exercise. Nice work. Widen your knees. Shift your weight back to a child's pose. Nice work. Let's roll on over. Lower yourself down to the mat. Bend your knees, feet on the mat. Your knees a little further than your hips. Arms up to the sky. We're going to do some roll-ups. So take a nice big inhale in on the exhale. Roll it up. Reach forward. Grab somewhere along your ankles. Give yourself a nice hug. And then energize the arms. Lower the shoulders gently. Slowly roll back 1 vertebrae at a time. As slow as you can on the way down. And then as slow as you can on the way up. Use as little momentum as you can. Always give yourself a nice hug at the end. Lower yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms up to the sky. Let's try and do one more. As slow as you can. Peel yourself up. Give yourself a hug. Then roll it on down. Up next we have some more sit-ups, but this time we're going to do them faster. Well, we were doing roll-ups before. This is more of a sit-up, so you can use some momentum. We'll do them faster, and we keep the arms raised the entire time. Tempo sit-up with an arm raise. Try not to bash your head on the couch. Let me move a little bit more forward. So you still want to focus on peeling yourself up and then sticking yourself back down vertebrae by vertebrae. But you keep your arms raised the entire time. You sit up nice and tall at the end. You're not rolling forward. You're going a little bit faster than you did with the roll-ups. Big shout out to the new subscriber, Niha. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm glad you like the channel. If you have any recommendations or any comments, please let me know. I'm more than happy to change this up for everyone watching. What's next? Flutter Kick is up next. Glue your lower back to the mat. Extend your legs out to 45 degrees. Glue your legs together. And then just little flutter kicks. You could have your head up or down, whatever works for you. Your palms, the arms, the forearms are planted into the mat. And you just do little flutter kicks here. You can make this a little bit more challenging by maybe raising and lowering your legs. Whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that your lower back stays glued to the mat. If you see or feel an arch there, try and raise your legs a little bit higher to get rid of that arch. You don't want any space under that lower back. Try to keep your legs out to 45 degrees with that lower back in the mat, or maybe move them up and down nice and slowly. Keep it going. Another 3 seconds. 2, 1. Nice work. Up next we have a glute bridge with a pulse. Who keeps messaging me here? Alright. So, feet on the mat, knees bent. Push into your heels. Engage your glutes. Lift your hips up to the sky. Then when they're at their highest, we'll pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, squeezing your butt basically. 2 and 1. Hold it up even higher. Take a nice big inhale, roll it down. Each vertebrae touching the mat. Then when the hips touch, take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Lift your hips up to the sky once again. We'll do one more round, squeezing the butt. Pulses up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's try and do at least part of another round. Lower your hips to the mat, and then on your next exhale, lift them up. Glutes to the sky. Pulse up. 3, 2, 1. And lower those hips. Up next, we have X ups to tucks. So we make our body into a big letter X. And then we take a right hand to the left foot, sit up, reach for that foot, then lower back down. 1 X up and then 1 tuck. So we sit up, tuck our knees into the chest, and then lower back down. Body makes a big X. Left hand to right foot, lower back down. 1 tuck, hold it for a second, and then 1 X up. Go at your own pace here. The slower the better on abs and core day. Holding the tuck, challenging your balance, then sitting up, really trying to extend that leg nice and straight. If your hamstrings are tight, try and make your leg as straight as possible. Maybe do some hamstring stretches throughout the day, etc., etc. Leg rainbows up next. I don't really need to adjust my mat. Leg rainbows. So I'll show you from the front view here. Legs start on one side, then you lift them up and over to the other side. Keeping your torso nice and still, your hips barely moving. Option for a little bit more challenge, take your hands off the mat, put them in prayer position, and try and do the same exercise. Show you from the side view here. So either hands on the mat or not. You're bringing your legs up at the same time, side to side. Minimal movement, nice straight and strong legs. How big can you make the rainbow? You can alternate some with the hands on the mat, some with the hands off the mat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, up next we have a pelvic lift. It's kind of like the glute bridge, but we are going to really focus on the articulation of the spine. So feet on the mat, feet and knees hip distance apart, arms down by your side. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, peel your pelvis up. Try and really feel each vertebrae leave the mat until your pelvis is as high as you can lift it. And we'll hold it up here. Take a nice big inhale. Then on the exhale, lower each vertebrae. Try and feel each vertebrae touching the mat. And then when your hips touch the mat, take an inhale. And exhale, peel up once again. So we're just really focusing on feeling each part of your back, each vertebrae doing its thing. Nice work. All right, scissor kicks up next. So from the same position, place your feet on the mat or hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. Lift your legs up as straight as you can, make them glue together. Then scissor your legs side to side. You could keep them at the 90 degrees, or for a little bit more challenge, you can lower them as you scissor your legs. Nice work. You can also keep them at 1 degree, like 45 degrees, or keep them lowering and lifting. You can also place your head down, hands by your side, whatever works for you. If you're curled up, try and curl up even a little bit more during the last few seconds of this exercise. Friendly reminder, if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, if you message me in the public chat, I'll see it on screen and we can have a conversation while we exercise. How wonderful. Dead bug. Raise your arms up to the sky, palms facing each other, then bring your legs to tabletop. You're going to extend your left leg back as your right leg, your left arm back as your right leg extends out to 45 degrees. Then bring that back to center, extend the opposite arm, opposite leg. Dead bug, lower back stays flat on the mat. You're giving your best dead bug performance. It's more of like dying bug because you're still moving. Dying bug. So when you reach in both directions, you really want to reach here and really engage those muscles as you reach. That way you'll actually get results. Hollow knee hug. Extend. All right, first let's curl our head and neck and shoulders off the mat. Extend your arms out behind you in line with your ears, legs out to 45 degrees. This is the hollow body hold, and then we go into a knee hug. Bring your knees into your chest, gives yourself a nice hug. Again, out, reaching, sweep around, grab somewhere along your legs, hug your knees into your chest. Go at your own pace, but please do hold this hollow body position for at least a second or two. Also, really try and hollow out, push your torso into the mat. That's the hollow part. My thighs are looking extra pale today. That's okay. What's next, you ask? Beast hold is next. So, beast hold starts out from all fours. You lift your knees up a couple of inches. You can hold it here with your knees hovering just a couple of inches off the mat and a nice flat back, or you can shift your weight back towards your heels and hold it here. It's a static hold, but you can also transition between the two if you want. The goal here is to keep your knees off the mat the entire minute. We're halfway through. As you can see, I'm shifting my weight back and forward. That's okay. You do whatever works for you. Whatever's more challenging, I want you to keep doing. 10 more seconds here. You got it. You can feel yourself getting stronger. And that's it. Grab a drink of water here. Jackknife. Cat's on the screen. They're so close to telling us. They're so close to giving us motivational messages. I just need to finish programming them. Jackknife. So you start arms out long, legs out long. Then you jackknife, trying to reach your hands for your feet and back down. So it's kind of a quick movement. Explosive movement. You keep your lower back on the mat always. You don't need to lift your hips off the mat at all. It's just up to 90 degrees or so. You reach up, you curl up, and then back down flat out. Try and add some explosive movement to it to really activate everything. Nice work. What do we have next? Tabletop toe taps. So back to that beast position where we start at all fours, lift our knees up a couple of inches. We're going to take our right hand and try and tap our left toe while staying in that tabletop position. So your legs are still in that 90-degree bend. Your hips stay as low as possible. So we're not doing this. This is another exercise. We're staying in the tabletop position, just reaching, keeping our torso as level as possible. You reach for the toes, opposite hand, opposite toe. 15 more seconds here. If you need to take a break, try to let your knees hover, no knees on the mat. And then when you're ready to get back into it, go for those toe taps. Nice work. Ukrainian twists up next. Superior to the Russian twists. All right. Ukrainian twists, so you can have your heels on the mat, hands in prayer position, lean back a little bit, and then lean back a little bit more. Twist to one side, follow your hands with your eyes, twist to the other, twisting side to side, keeping your legs nice and still. You have an option to make it a little bit more challenging. Heels off the mat, feet off the mat, keeping those legs nice and still. Really big twists. Maybe let's lean back a little bit more until you feel you're about to tip over or actually tip over like me. So the goal here is to twist out of the torso, so you're not twisting your legs like this. You're trying to keep your legs as still as possible. A little movement's okay if you have your feet off the mat. What do we have next? Side crunch. Let's do a side crunch, side plank crunch. So first we get into the side plank. Feet could be staggered or one on top of each other. Reach your arm out long over your head and then take that top knee, drive it in, elbow to knee, and then back out. You also have another option to keep that leg lifted hip height, star plank, knee to elbow. We'll do one more on this side, and then let's switch over to the other side. So flip on over or get on over to that other side plank, however works for you. Reach that arm way above your head, drive that knee in toward your elbow. Little crunch action there. Remember, you can keep that leg out hip height. Oh, I can't do it on this side because of the couch. Nice work. All right. Windshield wiper the legs. We'll do this one with the legs straight up to the sky. Legs are glued together, so you have one windshield wiper. Your arms are down by your side, and you twist your torso to one side, keeping as much of the hip as you can on the mat. If it lifts off a little bit, that's okay. But you want to windshield wiper your legs side to side. Show you from the front view here. Actually, I'll show you from the back view. Let's try this. So my legs are up to the sky. I twist to the right. And then when my left hip's about to come off, I twist other direction to the left. My legs are glued together. I try and keep my legs the same length. Nice work. 5 more seconds here. Nice work. Superman up next. For this, I have to open the doors here so I can stick my hands through. First order of business is to lie on the mat. Push your pelvis down. Scoop your abs up. Glue your legs together. Lift them off the mat, couple of inches off the mat. Extend your arms out forward. And we just hold this static pose. You could also add a lat pull. So imagine you had a bar that you were pulling down your back and then extending forward. The real special part of this exercise is pushing the pelvis into the mat, engaging the abs so you kind of have like a hollow part not touching the mat from your pelvis to your breastbone, I guess you would say. That forces you to engage the abs, take the dip out of the lower back. What's up, subscriber or follower or something? I'll give you a shout out in a second. Body saw up next. So we come to our forearm plank. We saw back and forth. Dale's house. What up, Dale's house? Thank you for following. Probably on Twitch. So for the body saw, you just get that strong forearm plank, engage your abs. Toes are curled under as you propel yourself forward and back. Squeezing your butt. I don't get much action on Twitch, that's okay. Slowly, we will build the community though. Just takes time. I mean, to be honest, not many people really watch the fitness channel on Twitch anyway. It's more for gaming and stuff like that. More for gaming. More for girls with big boobs that don't really do much of anything. All right, neck pull. So we'll start from sitting position. Sit up nice and tall. Hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide. First, we'll drop and pull the neck gently towards the thighs. And then sit up nice and tall, shoulders down, as we recline backwards, each vertebrae touching the mat until you're all the way down. And then from here, you do the same thing on the way up. Sit up, elbows nice and wide, forward fold, gently pull on the neck. You don't have to keep your hands behind your head. You can just do this without the hands behind the head. Similar to the roll-ups we were doing earlier. So option, hands behind the head, or no hands behind the head. Up to you. All right, frog stand up next. To do this one, start in like a sumo squat. Get down low. Lock your elbows into your knees. Walk your hands forward of your shoulders. Shift your weight into your hands, and your feet will come off the mat, and you just balance here. So I'll show you from a side view. Sumo squat, kind of. Legs, elbows into the legs. Shift your weight forward. Your feet will come off the mat, and you just hold that for as long as you can. Don't forget to breathe. Balance exercise, core exercise, and then from here we can transition to a handstand, which I definitely cannot do yet. I practice a little bit every day. That's not true. Not every day. I practice as much as I can. I think calisthenics are really cool. They really showcase how strong you are. So I'm trying to get into that. All right, last exercise, which will be a plank for 1 minute and 47 seconds. So get into that straight arm plank. Hips in line with the shoulders. Engage your abs. Straight arm plank or forearm plank, whatever you want to do today. Or maybe alternate between the two if one gets too boring. Remember, you could always put your knees down too if you need to take a quick breather, but as soon as you're back at it, get into that plank. Engage everything. Build a strong core. Squeeze your butt. Tuck your pelvis under. Straight line, whatever you're doing. It could also kind of be a diagonal line, but the goal here is to have your butt in line or lower with your abs really squeezed in. 44 more seconds, then we get into a cool down. Quick cool down, and then we're done for today with our core. 30 more seconds. You could do anything for 30 seconds. Might as well do this plank. Enjoy it. Keep breathing. Last 20. Last 10. Three, two, 1. Great job today. Sit back into a child's pose. That was 30 minutes of abs and core. Walk your hands over to one side of your mat as you shift your hips to the opposite side. And then reverse that. Hands over other direction. Hips opposite the hands. Come up to all fours. Inhale, look up for the cow. Exhale, round the back, push the mat away for the cat. One more of each. Great job. Come to a seated cross-legged position. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, and that was 30 minutes of abs and core. A lot of Pilates movements in there. Thank you so much for joining me. We are live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, where we do a different style of exercise. If you like the video, please watch one of the hundreds of other videos on the channel.